Hi everyone, welcome to my little corner of vegan YouTube. My name is Alina and today I'm going to share with you my favorite way to cook tempeh. If you've been vegan for longer than 5 minutes, you've probably seen tempeh at the grocery store. But even those of us who have been vegan for a while and are more experienced in vegan cooking are oftentimes kind of bewildered by it. What is it and what the heck are you supposed to do with it? So tempeh originally comes from Indonesia. Over there, people have been using it for hundreds, if not thousands of years as a cheap plant-based protein source. It's fermented, so it's easier for us to digest. Tempeh has more protein than tofu. It has all 9 essential amino acids, which makes it a complete protein, just like meat. You can cook it in like any kind of way. You can steam it and boil it and fry it, but there is a downside. The downside is unfortunately the flavor. Raw tempeh tastes kind of bitter. It's kind of rubbery and it has this kind of a funky flavor. You can technically eat it raw, but you might be kind of turned off by the texture. To improve the texture and get that bitter taste out, usually tempeh is either boiled or steamed, but then you end up having to do something else with it, add some kind of sauces and saute or grill or whatever, which, takes a lot of time and not everybody is gonna bother with it. If you cook it without steaming it first and throw it in the pan and saute it a little bit or put it in the stir fry, the outsides may taste nice and crisp, but the insides will stay kind of rubbery and that funky and bitter flavor will still be there. So this doesn't mean that you should just, walk past it next time you see it at the grocery store. I actually figured out a way to cook tempeh that is really simple and quick. The outsides will be nice and crispy. The insides will be tender and not bitter at all. Instead of tasting and smelling like feet, it will actually taste something close to like chicken. So let me show you how I do this. Let's go. First, I've got my block of tempeh. As you see, it's got this plastic cover on top. I'm going to remove it. And now there's another plastic cover on the inside that I'm going to just cut open. Now I'm going to cut my block of tempeh into 8 equal size strips. And after that, I'm going to cut each strip into these bite-sized pieces. Once I'm done, it's going to look something like this. Next, I've preheated my large skillet. I'm going to put some avocado oil in it and dump in all of my tempeh. I need to make sure that my tempeh is spread out in a single layer. Now I'm going to sprinkle some salt and add just a splash of water. Now, an important step, I need to immediately cover it with a lid. This will make sure that as the water evaporates, it stays under the lid, and that steam will help the tempeh to steam and soften on the inside instead of just getting fried on the outside. 3 to 4 minutes later, the water evaporates and the tempeh pieces will start getting nice and golden on the bottom. So I'm going to add another splash of water and cover the pan again. Another couple minutes and the water has evaporated again. So I'm going to stir everything. You see the tempeh now develop this really nice color on the bottom. Now comes the tedious part. We need to flip every piece of tempeh upside down so that the parts that used to be on top are now on the bottom. Another splash of water and cover everything with a lid again. Finally, another 2-3 minutes later, all the water is gone and the tempeh is ready. You can see that it's nice and golden on both sides. Now I'm going to season it with my favorite combination of garlic powder and paprika. I find it that these 2 spices make the flavor of tempeh very versatile, so you can use it in just about anything you want. Of course, you can use any other spices you like or skip them completely. All right, let's do a little taste test. I'm going to grab one of these. So tender. The flavor kind of resembles chicken. This would be perfect in like a salad or a grain bowl or as a filling for burritos or tacos. Just fantastic. So good. To keep my tempeh warm, I'm going to make a little pocket out of aluminum foil and keep it in here until I need it. So since it's lunchtime right now and I'm getting hungry, I'm going to use my tempeh to make a nice grain bowl. And so let me show you what I'm going to use.
I had some Brussels sprouts in the fridge that I needed to use up, so I decided to roast them. I cut them in half, then seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Toss it all together, a little bit of avocado oil, and now they go on a baking sheet, cut side down. I'm going to roast them at 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. I've also cooked some simple quinoa. This is tricolor quinoa. I boiled about a quarter cup of it in half a cup of water. Now I'm going to make a simple tahini sauce. I've got some tahini, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, some freshly squeezed lemon juice, a touch of maple syrup, and now I'm going to mix everything together and add a splash of boiling hot water. I'm going to continue mixing everything until it's nice and creamy, just like this. Next up, it's time to put everything together. I've got my quinoa, tempeh, my roasted Brussels sprouts, and now I'm going to drizzle everything with my tahini sauce.
All right, let's give it a try and mix it all together. So good. It's really good, really hearty. Tempeh really works well here. It's a little denser than, say, tofu would be, and definitely more flavorful. Quinoa and the tempeh, the textures are just complement each other so well. And tahini sauce works really, really well with the flavor of tempeh. If you make something with this tempeh, be it a grain bowl or salad, I highly recommend using tahini with it. So yeah, I highly recommend. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you did. If you didn't, then still please give it a like. I really appreciate it. If you made this recipe, please let me know. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear how it turned out. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet for more great recipes and tips and tricks on vegan cooking. Next up, check out this video right here. This is my recipe for sweet chili tofu stir fry, one of our family's favorite stir fries. It's really easy to make. It's full of vegetables, full of flavor. I know it's not tempeh, it's tofu, but still it's like really, really good. So yeah, give it a watch and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.